Hello everyone and welcome back to iWeekly on Tech Hub Wilts UK. This week we're doing something a little different. WWDC 2026 is now behind us. The first developer betas are available, and after spending some time testing both iPadOS 27 and macOS 27, I wanted to share my favourite 3 announcements from this year's event. Now, this isn't a roundup of everything Apple's announced. There was plenty of new features, AI updates and design changes that didn't make the list. Instead, these are the 3 things that genuinely stood out to me after watching the keynote and then actually using the software myself. I'll also share one thing that I don't like about the new updates because while I'm generally very positive about what Apple announced, I don't think they got everything right. As always, the stories featured in this special WWDC episode comes from Mac Rumors, Apple Insider and 9to5Mac, with links to the original articles in the video description below. So let's get started. So starting with my favourite announcement from WWDC 2026. This story was reported by Mac Rumors on Monday the 8th of June under the headline, Apple touts faster core software features across devices. So according to Mac Rumors, Apple highlighted a range of performance improvements across its operating systems during WW keynote. Instead of faster core software features designed to make devices feel more responsive throughout everyday use. Now, when Apple talked about these improvements during the keynote, I have to be honest, I wasn't particularly excited. Apple spent some time discussing improvements to things like app launching, system responsiveness, and overall speed throughout the OS. At the time, I remember thinking, that's nice, and then moving on to the next announcement. But after installing iPadOS 27 and macOS 27, it became one of the first things I noticed. Everything feels quicker, apps seem to launch faster, animations feel smoother, moving between windows feels more responsive, even simple everyday tasks feel snappier. And while none of these changes are individually dramatic, together, they make the operating system feel significantly polished. Now, I do want to add an important disclaimer here. This is my experience using the first developer beta on my devices. Other people may have the very different experiences depending on the device they're using, the apps they rely on, and specific beta versions they're testing. So as always, beta software comes with risks. I would never recommend installing it on the device you depend on everyday use unless you're comfortable dealing with bugs. But personally, I've genuinely been surprised by how stable both iPadOS 27 and macOS 27 have been already. In fact, I've encountered very few issues so far. What I love most about these performance improvements is that everybody benefits, whether you're using Apple Intelligence or not, whether you're a power user or a casual user. A faster operating system improves every interaction you have with your device, and after a week of testing the betas, this has been the feature I've noticed the most, which is why it's my favorite announcement from WWDC. Now moving on to my second favourite announcement from WWDC 2026. This story was featured by Apple Insider on Monday the 8th of June under the headline, Image Playground Gets Realistic AI Image Generation in iOS 27. According to Apple Insider, Apple has significantly upgraded Image Playground in iOS 27 with more realistic AI image generation capabilities, moving beyond the heavily stylized outputs that were available previously. Now, if you've watched previous episodes of iWeekly, you'll know I've been quite critical of Image Playground. In fact, I described it as feeling more like a demo app than a genuinely useful feature. It was fun for a few minutes, but it felt heavily restricted. The image styles were limited, the outputs felt repetitive, and honestly, it wasn't something I found myself using after the novelty wore off. Now, DubDub completely changed my opinion. Image Playground now feels like a proper creative tool. The move towards realistic image generation makes a huge difference. The restrictions appear to have largely disappeared, and for the first time it feels like the only limitation is your imagination. I spent some time experimenting with it already and the improvements are immediately obvious. The quality is better, the flexibility is better, and the results are much closer to what users expect from AI image generation in 2026. But what impressed me even more was the improvements Apple made to the Photos app. Features like cleanup, extend and reframe finally feel like the sort of AI tools people generally actually use. Cleanup works better than before. Extend does a surprisingly good job of expanding photos, and reframe can completely change how an image looks with very little effort. These aren't flashy demonstrations, these are practical tools, and that's what I think Apple Intelligence should be. Useful features that fit naturally into apps people already use every day. So for me, this is one of the biggest success stories of WWDC 2026. Last year's Image Playground felt like a technology demonstration. This year it feels like a real feature. So my third and final favorite announcement from WWDC 2026 comes from Apple's continued investment in Siri and Apple Intelligence. This story was reported by 9to5Mac on Monday the 8th of June under the headline, Apple unveils new Siri AI dedicated app and enhanced Apple Intelligence features in iOS 27. So according to 9to5Mac, Apple introduced a dedicated Siri app experience alongside a range of new Apple Intelligence features designed to make Siri more capable, more personalized and easier to access throughout the OS. Now, this is probably the feature many people expected to be number one choice, but honestly it isn't. And the reason is quite simple. Apple is finally delivering features it originally promised last year. Don't get me wrong, I really like the new Siri. I think the dedicated Siri app is a great idea, and I think the new interface looks fantastic. And I love how Apple has integrated it throughout the operating system. One of my favorite additions is the ability to activate Siri by dragging down from the dynamic island on an iPhone or the top center of the home screen on iPadOS. It feels much more natural than constantly saying, "Hey Siri." The dedicated app also gives Siri a proper home within the OS rather than feeling like a feature that simply appears and disappears. I also like the idea of being able to customize Siri's voice, although at the time of this recording, that feature isn't working for me yet on iPadOS 27 Beta 1. So that's something I'm looking forward to in the future beta releases. The reason Siri isn't higher on my list isn't because I dislike it, it's because this feels like Apple finally catching up with its own promises. I'm glad it's here, I'm glad Apple has delivered, but I also feel like it should have happened sooner. That said, the implementation looks strong and I think this is the best direction Siri has taken in years. However, some of the responses are just the same every time and I'd like Siri to maybe answer differently to show more natural and random conversation. Because she's just responding the same as she always did for me at this point. I particularly like the new Siri Sphere and the animations when Siri is thinking. Usually Apple has done a great job, and for the first time in a long time, I'm actually looking forward to seeing where Siri goes next. So before we finish, let's talk about the one thing I don't like, and that's the removal of color throughout much of the new experience. Now there are parts of the new design language that I really like. The new Siri Sphere looks fantastic. The animations when Siri is thinking are beautiful, and some of the visual effects look generally impressive, especially you can make liquid glass even clearer than before, and you can choose to keep it as frosted as you want. But overall, the software feels much more monochrome. The unified wallpapers seem heavily focused on gold and dark tones. Many of the Siri views are black and white. And honestly, for a company that used to celebrate color, it feels like something has been lost. Maybe it will grow on me over time. Maybe they'll adjust it over time. Maybe Apple will introduce more customization options before release. But right now, that's probably my biggest criticism of WWDC 2026. So after spending some time with the first developer betas, I think WWDC 2026 delivered more than I was expecting. Coming into the event, I thought the focus would mainly be about Apple Intelligence and the AI features. And while those updates are important, what surprised me the most were the improvements that make the OS feel better to use every single day. The biggest winner for me was the focus on performance and speed. It's not the most exciting feature to put on a slide during a keynote, but it's the improvement I've noticed the most since installing the betas. Image Playground has also gone from feeling like a restricted demo app to something I genuinely see myself using, especially alongside the new photos features like cleanup, extend and reframe. And finally, Siri is heading in the right direction. I still think Apple should have delivered some of these features sooner, but the dedicated Siri app and deeper Apple Intelligence integration make me more optimistic about Siri than I've ever been in a long time. As for the new design language, I'm still undecided. I really like the new Siri Sphere and some of the visual effects, but I do miss some of the color and personality the previous versions of Apple's software had. Overall though, after using iPadOS 27 and macOS 27, I think Apple has delivered a strong first beta, and WWDC keynote was focused on useful improvements rather than simply chasing trends. But now I'd love to hear your thoughts. What was your favourite announcement from WWDC 2026? Have you installed any of the betas yet? And what do you think about Apple's new design direction? So let me know down in the comments below, and as always, please keep those comments kind. If you enjoyed this special WWDC 2026 episode, please leave a like, subscribe to Tech Hub Wilts UK, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss Apple's news, reviews, guides, and future iWeekly episodes. Please follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Tech Hub Wilts UK, and check out my website at www.techhubwiltsuk.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.